religion and law enforcement. Two beasts of the same mentality. It's our feeble and failed attempt to for all intents and purposes police this. And it's failed. And why has it failed? Many reasons. But here, let's go back to the origin. Let's go back to the beginning. The truth is, the universe is an unsafe place. Okay? Excuse me, let me switch glasses on you here. That won't do. I guess I'll have to keep with these ones. The universe never professed to be a safe place, yet we try without very much success to make it so. And we use religion and we use our police force to try to make it a safe place. In the beginning, whether you believe in evolution, the Neanderthal, or if you believe that we were spiritual beings even in the Bible, you know, the place wasn't safe because there was a snake there, you know, ready to pounce, ready to tempt the weak. Bam! The weak mind. Okay, of course they put it on a woman, which is a sexist point of view. But the fact of the matter is the man followed his woman too, and then blamed her when he was confronted with his leadership responsibility. Now, the fact of the matter is that when we talk about defunding the police, and when I talk about leaving the church, I'm talking about keeping it 100. You may not like it. You may think, well, what's the better alternative? If the better alternative is to train this over our policies, over our need to feel safe, our need to feel as if, okay, if I can build a police force, if I can build a better church, then I will reach more people either by jailing them or packing them in a church so that they won't do harm or that they'll think twice about doing harm. We got to reimagine all that. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to educate this on how to control this within this. That's the way that we should be. In other words, the policymakers, let's start with the police force, okay? And I've talked to, and this is not off the cuff, once again, I'll talk to white folks. Man, the police give me grief too, you know? So everybody don't like the concept of the policing. So our policy makers, the people in our government that we send there, okay, we have to tell them, okay, look, we know that and Minnesota's a good example of that. And they say, you know, well, with the police gone, it skyrocketed and everything else. Look, they didn't take into account the people's anger and what had just happened. So you're going to have, because the universe is not a safe place to be, and because you're dealing with a lot of different minds, you're going to have people that want to try to take advantage of the situation. That's why I went back. That's why I was saying, stop the protest and get to work. A lot of them, even though they're not subscribing. Yes, enough of us did that. So we changed the president. But at the same time, you know, everybody's afraid of that word. It's like the boogeyman underneath. Defund the police. Defund the police. They think it's a frightening thing. It needs to be defunded in this way. Okay, yes, social services. You know, changing how we put money into neighborhoods and stuff like that. But it also has to, and this is the mesh, it also has to mesh with our understanding of our spirituality. How it has come from the time of our Neanderthal, or from the time of the beginning to now, that we have learned. So the two have to work together. So if you got, and everybody said, well, that's a tall order, teacher of the flame. How are you going to do that? You have to do it by the same steps that happened in the beginning. Small baby steps. Okay? It's just like defunding the police is like saying it to a child, a baby, that you're trying to feed them meat and potatoes. Our minds aren't ready for that yet. So we got to feed them the infamil. We got, you know what I mean? A mind like mine, I'm already on the meat and potatoes, man. Matter of fact, my mind don't need spiritual food. Just give it to me raw, butt naked, right? But spiritually and sociologically, we need to be fed infamil. Okay, so you start out, change your social programs, telling people, okay, I'm going to give you a fair shake. You know what I mean? Stop building bars and brewery tasting places, which ain't nothing but a glorified bar. You know what I mean? Liquor stores. And, you know what I mean, focus more on education. See, I know I sound like a mom talking to a little baby, but, right, because we should know these things already, right? But nobody wants to eat that right now. You know what I mean? Wholesale. They know they need to, but they don't want to eat it wholesale right now. So we got to, okay, we got to change this. And then the church need to stop teaching these people give it to God. Are you kidding me? How are you going to tell somebody who's a nutrition? Give it to God? Where you at? How? All right, so can I give him my broken heart? Can I give him my bill? I can't make enough money to feed my kid. I give that to God? No. You know what I mean? They have to, the church has to come out and be like, okay, until you're able to get on your feet, we're going to raise money so that you have enough to eat. Okay? That's how it has to happen. And then the mind will say, somebody cares about me. Somebody is looking out for my well-being. Instead of trying to throw me into, you know, these warehouses of human flesh they call jails. You see what I'm saying? Or herding a bunch of people into a mega church so that everybody can come in there and, you know what I mean, sit in the front with their new three-piece suit, and this dude up here talking garbage and, you know, feeding your brain full of garbage. No. The original church, Christ's church, walked around and healed people and fed the hungry and these kind of things. The biggest thing that the virus showed is that the church is not necessary in its previous form. It's only necessary in the form that it is now. On the internet, in small groups. You know what I'm saying? See? And see, when we look at the universe in its totality, we can say the virus taught us something about what we need to do as human beings to make it to the next level, to be at the next level. Because here's the thing, your mind, if it feels that I have to prove something in the church by going there and giving my money and giving tidings, and I have to prove something to this man that when I'm walking down the street, I'm not a criminal, so I can't, put my hood on or what. If your mind is like that, it's always on the defensive. It's always on a state of alert. And that's anxiety. You know what I mean? The mind can't think clearly when there's anxiety and depression and fear. It don't think right because it's dealing with all these other things. You have to train your mind to sit in meditation like I do so that you can think clearly. You have to train your mind to say, it's drinking, that's all right, but no, I don't need that to think clearly. I don't need that to relax. I don't need that preacher to tell me that, I need to be a thoughtful spiritual person just in case hell exists. Come on, man. You know what I mean? I don't need my government to tell me that, okay, to help you feel safe, I'm going to have somebody walking down the street with a gun, plenty of bullets, a taser, he got on a bulletproof vest, and he walking through your neighborhood. All right, can you tell me? Don't take my word for it. Think about it yourself. What does that do to your mind? Even if he look just like you, that's threatening. Somebody wearing a gun, walking down your neighborhood. It's threatening when there's somebody up in the front of a church pointing to you, oh, I feel this person need this and need that. What? Instead of that person walking down, you know what I mean, in my neighborhood and looking like me. You see what I'm saying? Maybe have on a bright shirt and I can, hey, can you help me with this? I mean, so because that's all it should be. Because any crime in my neighborhood is my fault. You see what I'm saying? I haven't been able to talk. I don't talk to my neighbors. I don't tell them what we need as neighbors to talk to each other. See? So the cop that come down the street that's got that gun is for all intents and purposes, whether he be black or white and live in the same neighborhood, he a threat because he's saying to you that I am here to squash that threat. That threat, that gun is the threat. See? And that preacher, when he's wearing a nice suit and he's over above you, you know what I mean? He's not showing you how to be independent in here. He's over above you. And he's telling you, this is my amen. And, come on. No. Those are all threatening, anxiety, and they cause depression. They cause fear. What we need to do is reimagine what it means to be a human and living with another human. We need to reimagine that. We need to understand that. We need to understand that my mind to your mind, your thoughts to my thoughts. Let us live in peace.